Tamar Braxton, you seem to have forgotten all of the excess drama, mess, and confusion. People have called you an agent of chaos, an attention seeker, a drama queen, and for very good reason. So, for you to get upset and cancel an oncoming project because you're offended by the names you were called, it seems that you've forgotten all of the many instances that you have cried wolf and there were only sheep there. So, since you seem to have forgotten, let's start from the beginning and remind you. Tamar was born in 1977 in Severn, Maryland. She was the youngest of the Braxton siblings. She was raised modestly in a tight-knit family where music was central. She and her sisters started singing in the church and formed the vocal group The Braxton, debuting with The Good Life in 1990. But was that good enough for Tamar? Oh, so in 2000, Tamar released her debut solo album, Tamar, on DreamWorks, featuring names like Missy Elliott and Jermaine Dupri. Although she later admitted she lacked creative control over the project, it marked her solo career. In 2011, she brought her life to the screens in the Braxton Family Values. She was on the Braxton Family Values from 2011 to 2020, which spotlighted her family dynamics, triumphs, and struggles. Now, she started The Real in 2013, and she stayed there until 2016 when she left. Now, she claimed that it was a mutual agreement. Her and the network put out a statement saying it was a mutual agreement to separate, but the word on the curb says differently. So, in an interview that Lonnie Love did that appeared to be on the Breakfast Club, she said that her husband slash manager at the time was mismanaging her career, which caused friction and chaos between those two. When Lonnie gave Tamar the number to the then Steve Harvey manager, who would be able to further her career better than her husband slash manager could at the time. When the husband found out about it, it became a big hoopla. He told her that the other co-hosts didn't want her there and they were trying to start trouble and blah. But in actuality, further information came out about her separating from The Real, and it said that she would blow up at the executive producers to the point to where she would be screaming and hollering and causing a scene, and to the point to where she had to be held back by the other co-stars as well as her husband. That meant that she became unmarketable to them. So the executive producers as well as the advertisers went out on a campaign saying that we can't market her to the fans of The Real because of her personality and other reasons. But in actuality, I think the executive producers may have just been afraid. That they may have been afraid that there may not have been enough people there one day to hold her back, and she may have gotten actually physically violent with them. I believe they were in fear, and that may be the reason why they decided to part ways with her. So there was also a claim that while on the Braxton Family Values, she found out about being let go from The Real, and the accusations are that she staged her reaction. In a controversial Braxton Family Values episode, Warner Brothers is said to have accused the show of staging the very emotional moment when Tamar learned of her firing from The Real, a heavy allegation in the reality TV circles. Now, we all know that reality TV is not actually reality TV. A lot of it is staged. A lot of it is putting people who don't like each other in the same room, trying to get a reaction, trying to get a rise out of people. So for a company to come out and say that her reaction to being fired from The Real was staged and that it was overly acted, that's a huge accusation when all of reality TV is staged. And I only go into these accusations because before I get to Funky Dineva, I just wanted to show that we can go into the drama with her and K. Michelle. We can go into the drama with her and Candy Burris. There's just always a lot of mess and drama and that she just seems to be encircled and engulfed by, to where we can't even enjoy her actual natural talents because there's always some type of spectacle going on with her, not just her personal life but also her work related life as well. So just to give that premise before getting to Funky Dineva, who read her for filth. Now, I don't know whether or not he was actually a part of the scam or not, but it doesn't seem like it. It seems as if Tamar had some foolishness going on and he wasn't going for it because he was catching the backlash from it. So just in case you don't know what I'm referencing, in August of 2025, Tamar revealed she was found in a pool of blood with a fractured nose, missing teeth, and limited mobility. She couldn't recall what happened, but asked fans for prayers, citing the incident as a life-altering moment. So, a dental professional later suggested the injuries may be the result of a sleepwalking episode. My dentist has never diagnosed me with anything, including sleepwalking, outside of a cavity. My dentist hasn't diagnosed me, been willing to come out and speak to anyone on my behalf as to what could have caused any type of dental issue I may be having. So, for one, that's suspect. For two, she canceled the project that was supposed to be coming out because of all of the extra hoopla and the fact that Funky Dineva came out, basically called it for what it was, a PR stunt. Because if your nose was broken and you had missing teeth and you had all fractures and all of, how was your face? This is a light-skinned woman, you guys. This is a light-skinned woman. There is no way you went through all of that facial trauma and there were no black and burgundy or red or teal or blue or any kind of colored bruises to show that you sustained this trauma. I'm just not buying it. Funky Dineva said that this was a PR stunt, and I believe him. Because the only one who would have actually had anything to gain from this would have been Tamar, because she had a project coming out. So people feeling sorry for her, wanting to go get her new album, wanting to support her. That's something that I can see happening. Funky Dineva being drugged because she put this out the night after being out partying with him. She put it out the very next day. So, and again, Funky Dineva said, if you had time to make these posts, then you had time to come out and tell people that he wasn't the one that did anything to you. Because the internet was dragging Funky Dineva because he was the last one that people saw her with. So when something happened to her that she was claiming was this dramatic, of course, people were going to go to the source saying, well, Funky Dineva, you were the last person she was with. She was at your birthday party. You guys were out. What happened to Tamar? And Funky was like, I don't know what the hell happened to that lady. And so this big hoopla started with the internet calling Funky Dineva a liar and he was abusive and that he wasn't a friend and calling him all type of slurs because they really thought that he had harmed Tamar. Now, throughout this process, while Tamar was supposedly in the hospital, she was still making all type of cryptic posts and tweets and all of these type of things, but she couldn't come out and say, well, whatever happened to me outside of my time with Funky Dineva, I had left him, I was gone from the party, I had told him goodbye hours before, blah. She could have came out and said anything that would have cleared his name. Did she? No. So, again, we're not sure whether or not this was a PR stunt, but what we are sure of is that Tamar is not anybody's friend, especially Funky Dineva's. She's not anybody's friend because it could have been one tweet, one Instagram post. She could have gotten her team to do it. She didn't even have to do it. If she was laid up in the hospital, she didn't have to do it. She could have gotten her team to do it. But did she? No. She left Funky Dineva to be dragged by the public, to be accused. It was to the point where people were talking about sending authorities to him, all type of maliciousness. That could have, again, just been resolved with one post. Something a good friend would have done. But is Tamar a good friend? Doesn't seem to be.